Hi, warm greetings to everyone. I, Mr Bose from InsideSport, present a lovely interaction with Mr. Rahul Bose. He is currently the president of the Rugby Federation of India. So, sit down, relax, and enjoy this lovely interaction with us, where Mr. Bose shares his journey as a rugby player and now successfully leading the president of the Federation of India. And last but not the least, if you love our video, like, share, and subscribe. See you later.
First, I would like, how would you sum up the journey you had from a player to the president? If you had to sum up your journey.
Good question. As a player, first school, then the club, the Bombay Gymkhana, then the country. 2009, the country I retired. Then informal ambassadorial roles for the sport for the next 10 years. Then I got onto the board. 6 months on the board and I had too much of I was directing a film, so I didn't feel it was correct for me to stay on. I resigned. Then when I had time, came back on the board in 2020. I was there for a year till 2021. And then of course the government had said you have to have elections. You can't appoint any more people onto a sports body, any national sports body. So then after that, 21 December we had elections. I had to decide whether I wanted to stand or not. And I took a decision that it's going to be a 4-year term. Do I have the time? Do I have the intent? Do I have the commitment? And I said yes to all three in my head. I stood and I was elected on the 18th of December 2021. So it's been about 15 months.
So, if you could highlight a moment from your career that you really cherish,
Playing or not playing?
playing as well as not playing.
I think playing was the very first. I played the first test match ever for India. So that was just CNN was there, everybody was there. Of course, we got smashed by Singapore. We don't know what the hell was going on under floodlights and things. But it was just historic, right? To think of in 1932, C.K. Naidu walked out to play the first test match for India. Likewise, I can always say that we played the first rugby test match for India. So that's a great feeling. I scored against Sri Lanka. I remember in one tournament that was the first time I scored, which is a great memory for me. It was on the wing. And then I would say, when I retired, I had never been dropped. So I retired without ever being dropped. So I was very proud of that. That track record. And in my non-playing times, I think every single time I get onto a tournament as the president, I never sit down. Normally they give you a spot in the stadium to sit, and if it's sunny they'll give you a canopy because you're the president, and they might even put a sofa there because you're the president. I don't even look at it. I never ever enter the stands. I walk around the ground for 8 hours. I keep walking around the ground for 8 hours. And I see all the teams. Some teams have come off. A 7-a-side game is only 15 minutes. So some teams have come off, they're warming down, cooling down. Some teams are warming up, some teams are getting a pep talk, some teams are at half time, somebody's taken to the hospital, So it's all happening. And as far as I'm concerned, that walk around is the happiest place in my heart. To walk on the earth where rugby players play, to see them happy with the sky above their heads and a ball in their hand, is the happiest moment. For me, that is the reason why I love this game. I love this game and I love the players behind it. So everything we do as a federation, and I'm not saying it wasn't done before, but we've just articulated it up front. Everything we do, the players will be at the center of our preoccupations.
So, how would you describe the current scenario of rugby in India?
Well, I would describe it as being rugby is the least known, most played sport in the country. And the reason I say that is because there are about 740 districts in India. Rugby is played in 310. That is
Around this.
40%. 40% of India plays rugby, nobody knows. I'm not saying in that district everybody's playing rugby, but there's a presence in that district. The reason why nobody knows the sport is because it's on television.
Exactly.
But even that's fading out. Soon television will fade. As it is already now, you're looking at valuations for these various sporting leagues at 50% online, 50% television. 5 years ago, it was 10% online, 90% television, the rights, to buy the rights. And tomorrow it will go the other way.
We are already moving to a digitalized platform like streaming sites.
So,
So, can you just explain all the challenges that the Federation faces?
I would say that every single federation you ask, they'll say that money is the challenge, raising money. It's not the case. It's not the case. The real challenge is to have a vision. First you have to apply you have to have the audacity to dream. Then you have to have the intellect to create a pathway to that dream that is plausible, doable. If you have a dream and you have a path to that dream and people are convinced that you guys will really be busting your guts to get there, they'll give you money. We've increased the funding that comes to Indian Rugby through private and government sources by 110% in the last 14 months. No. The government had given us minimal backing till 2 years ago. It's only in the last 2 years, once they have seen our plans and once they have seen that we are achieving the steps that we said we would take, that we would perform, that we would achieve, the goals we would meet in 2021 and 2022. Now, so they have now put in, they've increased our monies appreciably. The support, and I want to place this on record, the support we're getting from the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports from Delhi is unprecedented. There's warmth, there's goodwill, there's trust, and now there's financial backing and financial backing.
You've been implementing all these amazing steps to upward the game. So, what do you think has been or maybe is holding rugby back from being recognized as a proper Olympic sport in India?
So it is an Olympic sport, you know that. Rugby is a massive Olympic sport. To get to the Olympics, you have to be in the top 2 nations in Asia. It's a quota system. Okay? I wish that could be increased. But in the event it doesn't, then you have to get to the top 2. Right now, Japan, China, and Korea are battling it out. So let's say it's Japan and China, especially in the women. And that's where we have a better chance because our women are ranked number 9 or 10 in Asia. Our men are ranked 14, 15 in Asia. So in the Asian Games, our women will be in the top 8 because in the Asian Games, you have to be a country passport holder. So there are a couple of countries in Asia whose names I won't mention who are full of expatriates. So when they go to the Asian Games, they don't have a team. Which is why our ranking will be easily in the top 8 in Asia during the Asian Games. So the challenge is for us to make those top 2 slots. Then you get to the Olympics. Now that challenge, if the Olympics are in 2028, you have 5 years and you're 8th in Asia. You have to basically climb 5 spots. From 8 to 2. Or 6 spots. So that's the challenge. Now that's what we have to do. That's what we do. We've got we had South African coaches working with the women. We're on the threshold of starting a brand new initiative for the men, which will come to in about 4 weeks from now, new sponsor. So everything is being put in place to push hard. From 2023, we begin the push. The post-pandemic period is over. Our women won 4 silver medals at the Asian level last year in 4 different Asian tournaments. Our men didn't do as well. And now in 2023, we want to push. We want to turn silver to gold, and we want to get the men into medal contention.
So, as a president, how would you describe the financial stability that comes to the athletes related to this game?
Till now, it was 0. In the last 14 months, we have 18 months, even before I became president. When I was on the board, we raised money. I personally made an appeal to one of our sponsors and said, please give us money to fund our players. And they said yes. So basically what we started to do was, every player that comes into a national camp, boys, girls, men's, women, every single player comes to the camp gets paid per day, and the payment increases as the camp has fewer and fewer people. It escalates, so if you stay for a camp for a month and you play the tournament, you stand to make about.
So are you guys making some plans for the retired or the senior players who are close to retiring?
There are two plans. One is we are opening up in conjunction with a company called Stadia. We are opening up opportunities for players who are going to be retiring to start a sports management or a sports business study so that they can qualify themselves to get jobs after that. And the second is we are actively on the lookout at Rugby India itself to absorb people from our own ecosystem who have stopped playing. And the third is wherever we have good relationship with the state governments, we are asking them to give them jobs. So Odisha state government has given 18 jobs to our players, some current and some retired.
So you mentioned a few minutes ago that vision is very important for the group. So as a president, personally, what's your vision?
My vision for Indian rugby? On the field, it would be a set of crack professionals, always playing the game hard but always playing it fair. And off the field, it would be whenever anybody is in need or help, an Indian rugby player should come out there. Anywhere, on a railway station, on a pavement, in the middle of a burning building, if there's anybody in need of help in this world, the first hand that should go out to help should be an Indian rugby. It's got the contact of kabaddi, it's got the thrill of the speed and thrill of hockey, and the skills of football and more. So it's a combination of these three things. So if I was to tell somebody why you should watch it, I'm like, it's just really thrilling. It's got contact, it's got violence, it's got physicality, it's got speed, it's got beauty, it's got skill, it's like you're watching fast muscled ballerinas. That's what rugby is.